This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
European Union energy ministers meeting in Brussels on Tuesday struggled to agree on a bloc-wide cap on gas prices after months of infighting over whether the measure can ease Europe's energy crisis. Responding to repeated requests from some countries, the European Commission proposed a price cap last month as the latest EU response to the economic upheaval caused by Russia cutting gas deliveries to Europe this year, leading to energy price spikes. European citizens are in agony, European businesses are closing, and Europe has been needlessly debating, Greek Energy Minister Konstantinos Skrekas said on Tuesday, calling for a swift deal on the cap.
OPEC on Tuesday stuck to its forecasts for global oil demand growth in 2022 and 2023 after several downgrades, saying that while economic slowdown was quite evident, there was potential upside such as from a relaxation of China's zero-COVID policy. Oil demand in 2023 will rise by 2.25 million barrels of oil per day, or about 2.3%, the OPEC said in a monthly report, after growth of 2.55 million barrels of oil per day in 2022. Both forecasts were unchanged from last month. Although global economic uncertainties are high and growth risks in key economies remain tilted to the downside, upside factors that may counterbalance current and upcoming challenges have emerged as well, OPEC said in the report.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Oil output from the Permian Shale Basin in January is set to touch a record 5.6 million barrels per day, BPD, the U.S. forecast on Monday, but the increase is a third of September's pace. Output in the biggest U.S. shale oil basin is set to rise by about 37,000 barrels of oil per day, the smallest gain in 7 months, based on projections from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, in its monthly drilling productivity report. Gains slowed as some of the largest firms are warning of overworked oil fields and less productive new wells.
Oil rose to more than $80 a barrel on Tuesday as investors bought up risk assets after U.S. data pointed to slowing inflation. The market was also buoyed by concern about supply disruptions, including the ongoing shutdown of the Canada to United States Keystone crude pipeline following a massive leak. Brent crude futures were up $2.85, or 3.4%, to $80.84 a barrel by 11:41 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 16:41 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate, WTI, crude futures gained $2.49, or 3.4%, to $75.66. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Copper prices jumped to their highest in nearly 6 months on Tuesday on a weaker dollar after a further decline in U.S. inflation raised the likelihood of an easing in the pace of interest rate hikes. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange, LME, gained 1.4% to $8,495 a ton by 1700 GMT after touching its highest since June 23 at $8,629. U.S. COMEX copper futures rose 1.6% to $3.86 per lb. Copper raced higher after U.S. data was released, having been up only 0.7% in LME midday official open outcry trading.
Gold climbed over 2% on Tuesday to its highest levels in more than 5 months after data showing a smaller than expected rise in U.S. consumer prices cemented bets for a slowdown in rate hikes from the Federal Reserve. Spot gold was up 1.8% at $1,812.37 per ounce, as of 16:46 GMT. Earlier in the session, bullion hit its highest level since June 30. U.S. gold futures advanced 1.9% to $1,826.40. Gold prices are up significantly on the outlook that rate hikes may be slowing, said Bob Habercorn, senior market strategist at RJO Futures.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural.
France's Farm Ministry on Tuesday estimated that the areas sown with soft wheat for the 2023 harvest will increase to 4.75 million hectares, 1.7% higher compared with the area harvested this year. The expected level would also be 0.1% above the average of the previous 5 years, the ministry said in a report. France is the European Union's biggest grain producer and soft wheat is the country's most produced cereal. In its first sowing estimates for next year's harvest, the ministry projected that the winter barley area would reach 1.30 million hectares, up 1% from 2022 and 3.9% above the 5-year average. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.